This guy here. Okay, so here we are. I got a question here I'm going to try to answer. Um, this is by some guy named Kumar. Or Kumar. He says, I tried hard, but I can't understand what you're trying to do here. Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to, I guess talk about the market and stuff like that. I guess I'm trying to approach it with a new mind. This is the Zen of Zen trading, a beginner's mind kind of trading. Well, what I stumbled across was the fact that I think the quintessential thing that I really am all about is this size matters. Diversification in size, or diversification in price, and linear size. So I'm saying, unless, well, of course, some of this has to do with how much money you want to risk. I'd say it all has to do with how much money you want to risk. So think of it this way: what is your amount of money you want to risk, and how much you want to make? I think that's the starting point. I think a lot of people want to learn how to discover trends and see a high probability trade, or they want to get the ratios right. But I think you're going to have good ratios and bad ratios. I don't think you can have ratios that are all good, okay? Because it's about money. This is the thing that I discovered. It's about money. So if I put a 50 pip stop on a 1K, it was $5. And I put a 10 pip stop on a 10K, it was $5. Imagine there's no spread. Imagine there's no commissions. Just think about that. Now, think about the places you can go with. How many places can you show up with the 50Ks, 50 pip stop? How many markets can you trade with a 50 pip stop? Oh, a lot. You know. How many markets can you trade with a 5 pip stop? Not many. And what's the chances you get stopped out of your 5 pip stop? That's all I'm saying. That's all I've ever been saying. Now I can run through all the analysis stuff, but until you accept the risk, money-wise, none of that's going to do you any good. You can tell me about the beautiful coffee shop you want to build, that you could do your laundry and get laid in the back room, and all this wonderful stuff, all your wonderful guitars, your amplifiers, but it's pretty much down to money. Now, being a creative person is real. If you listen to Jordan Peterson talk about creative people, and there's two kinds of people. So being creative is not always a good thing. With all the stuff I posted, and somebody's asking for this ATR bot. I think I can give you the link to the ATR bot, but honestly, I don't have the time to. I guess that's really for somebody that's up for that punishment. You'd have to have. Let me just say this right off the bat: you're going to need a really fast computer, unless my computer may be not fast enough to test all these variations in a robot and the core code of it. Like, I just have to have somebody that knows MT4 that could just say, okay, next step. Let's just put filters on this one at a time, like an FFT filter, like a Fourier. That's what Fourier analysis. And it's funny, when I saw Fourier EQs, I thought, Fourier. I've seen all this shit. Fourier analysis, linear regression. I mean, it's fucking hysterical. Because, like I said, this whole game is about fucking your broker over. Everybody hates their broker, right? Well, how do you fuck your broker over? And because they fucked me over once because I traded too micro across too many tickets and they turned off my account. So you have to be careful. But the broker wants you to trade a standard lot. I mean, the MT4 platform default is a standard lot. The people that probably start trading don't even know they can trade a micro lot. Or they think that that's just, like I said, that's not enough money for them. Well, it's a two-edged sword. Don't forget, if you can buy, and I can buy here for 40 cents, I can buy 1,000, for 40 cents of margin, I can buy $1,000 a euro dollar, then it's still $1,000 a euro dollar that I'm not gonna lay down $10,000 a euro dollar and hope the price goes up so I can make 50 bucks. So once you establish this dollar risk, you have to make it real. So if it's going to be $5, which is, I think I just spent $5 on pasta sauce, and I thought this stuff tastes so fucking good. On the lid it said tomatoes, spices, and something else, and I'm like, that's impossible. This tastes like it's got sugar on the side. I finally read it. So they tricked me. Fucking, sure it tastes good. It's got sugar on it. Jesus fucking Christ. It's got Frosted Flakes, this fucking pasta sauce. So I just got fucked there. I still got another can I gotta kill. I bought two. I was so giddy. I had so much money, I guess. So yeah, the money thing. So here's the thing. Then of course the scripts, I can bombard the music. The market. I can do that too. Bombard the market, my broker, with all these tickets. Hit different brokers. See which brokers let you trade. You know, you can't always. Some brokers aren't going to let you. And if you're trapped in first in, first out, it doesn't matter. You can still place all those fucking orders. If you do that, you have to have it so that you're going to accept the total risk of all those orders. And they will hold you in jail as you get out of that first ticket. But that doesn't mean you can't trade it. Okay. What pisses me off is this idea that we're going to go hunting. It is so utterly, you know, I get that when I started trading, I had the same stupid fucking idea that I was going to really analyze and discover, how do I know where the market's going? Okay, so here's the big heartbreaker, is you don't have to know where the market's going to make money. The way I trade the market, I put an order 15 pips deep, above or below me, for an hour, and I just see what happens. And I've got a 15 pip stop, and then I put an order 11 pips above with a 20 pip stop, an order 13 pips above with an 8 pip stop, and order 14 pips above with a 50 pip stop, and on and on and on. If you can see the pattern there, it's about, I don't give a fuck. I'm putting a bunch of orders up there, and I'm going to make it so that I don't get stopped out of any, there's no hard stops. Okay. And so if there's no hard stops, no hard entries, then I'm going to, that's my risk management. I know the dollar risk. The ratios doesn't matter. I'll make more money risking if I break even orders, but I've got a 5 pips to make 5 pips, 8 pips to make 8 pips. I would make more money on that, presupposing I place them at different prices and I actually have a clue what the market's doing and why it's doing it. Okay, that the market's moving faster than it was before. So in Asia, right now the market, so I don't have a screen here, but you'll just have to imagine. Right now it is Eastern Standard Time, it's 10 to 10. So what I can tell you now is I'm going to sell the Eurodollar when it gets to 124 or higher. I'm just going to start selling into it tonight for a pullback. Now, I have buy limits below 124, and I'll buy it if it comes down. That's it. I'm going to buy low, I'm going to sell high. I mean, I could put those lines on there and just do that because that's how people talk about the market, right? This is how people talk about the market. But when you're having sex with the market, you don't talk about it. It's about size, right? So, and if she's big, you want to be on top. So, here's the story. So this guy says, I try, but I can't understand what you're trying to do here. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show that scaling is king. Scaling in and out is the holy grail. Backward engineering, it's the holy grail. Think about how much you're risking, and then you can put all your Gartleys and all your Batwings and all your, your Tyrannosaurus Rex on the screen. Because it's not going to matter. It's just not going to fucking matter. I mean, like I said, you might be sleeping. Unless you place that pending order, you're going to miss that entry. And unless you can trade, there's two things you need. And the one thing that's going to get you fearless is that you're going to risk $5 per trade. That's why I had the $5 drops, because most people can risk $10 is threat. I mean, if you said you're gonna buy lottery tickets for $10 a piece, but in this game, you've got like a 60 to 90% chance of winning. Right? Because if I put a 50 pip stop on a 5 pip take profit, you're going to be right. Like, you're probably going to be right on that trade, but this doesn't mean you could put a 3 pip take profit on a 50 pip stop and never see profits. I've done it. So, but you don't, now that's a trade that, you're trading one case. You just have to get used to the idea that you don't have to know where the market's going to make money. That just does not sound right at all. It's counterintuitive. So I would say, and plus, the market is, okay, the Eurodollar is going up tonight. So here we go. We're about to take out, at the top of the hour, we're probably going to pop up and go to 124.22. This is so dumb as shit. It happens. People think it's going to sell off. It's going to keep going up this week. Probably take out 125. I mean, let's face it, the dollar is fucked. Now, this is fun. Now I'm going to go into fundamental modes. Only because inflation's coming. If this goofball fucking, my favorite fucking bull in the China shop, who's a liberal, Donald Trump, is going to fucking try to do the tariff gig, but I think he's doing that to just poke people and prod them, because he must know that's absolutely fucking retarded. So, who knows? And I don't give a fuck. I just dropped out of that whole thing, dude. I'm just completely, I could give a fucking flying fuck. So, yeah, I'll be selling tonight. Now, this is another thing. In the scripts I wrote, I'll be selling for an hour. After an hour goes by, whether I get more drunk or I just do something else or I get a phone call, I don't have to worry about this trade, because I know in an hour, if we don't go up 10 pips in an hour, I'll get filled. And I got orders I'm going to put in 6 hours from now, 55. So I'm placing a script right now, 4 hours. It'll last for 4 hours. These are set it and forget it scripts. Now, if the market's screaming, which is not in Asia, you just have to get a different. This is another thing. I'm all about the trade plans that last 15 minutes to 8 hours, and you just throw the orders out there. It's like magic. And the disturbing thing is you're making money without really giving a fuck. It's so counter life. What, you don't care? No, I don't care, because I just know that if it goes up 80 pips tonight, I would like to sell 1K. What if I put a 100 pip stop and I do risk $10 per trade? How many trades can I do? How much more am I beating the shit out of the guy that's sitting there in the fucking standard lot with some Gartley bullshit? Trying to get, well, I got it in the morning and then the news came out. Okay, I ran a really tight stop because I didn't want to lose no money. What? Hey, this is ridiculous, dude. This is like buying every car you would ever bought and just all in one car in your whole life. So you're driving $100,000 car, which you could have bought fucking five $10,000 cars or whatever the math is, right? You could have bought 10 $10,000 cars and just wait till they exploded and walked away and got another car. But you got your whole fucking world in a standard lot. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And when people don't talk about scaling, and I think it's either laziness or they never thought about it. So let me go back to this guy's question. I'm gonna zip it up really tight for this guy. I can't understand what you're trying to do here. I'm trying to work harder than the other trader. I'm trying to be being recovering perfectionist because the market's kind of choppy. But I have a vision of my orders getting filled, and the more money I have in the account, the less orders I can put in with wider stops and risk the same amount of money. Now, if I wanted to scalp it, and I could scalp it in the morning when the news comes, I could sit there and watch it and it's kind of thrilling. That's more work to me than placing a bunch of wild ass swing orders with 100 pip stops and way the fuck out there. So he says, seems you doing good, but you don't want to make it clear what to do and not to do. Okay, this is what you don't do. You don't risk so much that you can't sleep at night, or you can't even breathe when the trade's on. You don't risk so little that your day job, or you just might as well just. Well, I can't say that because actually I don't think there's this. I think that there's well, you shouldn't undertrade out of fear. So once the fear is gone, so the fear would make you kind of not think straight, but also if you're afraid to pull the trigger or place a pending order, it's better to think about placing pending orders than pulling the trigger, because if you pull the trigger, in my opinion, you should only buy a 1K unless you're willing to endure $20 of risk, and it goes up very quickly. You could buy a 2K with 100 pip stop, it's $20. I mean, it's hard to believe, but when you go to a 10K, which a lot of people think, oh, just 10K, but I don't know. You know, if you just want to blow money, sure, go for it. It would make sense if you wanted to build houses and every other house falls down, because you can think about the substructure. So maybe I'm taking it good. Maybe I'm taking it good, but sorry, I'm reading the wrong phrase here. Maybe I'm taking it wrong, but your videos may be full of information, but they're way too much complicated to understand. Well, I guess I'm going into depth for the people that have studied this topic ad nauseum, and it's a language, I suppose, unto itself of the way people describe things. Because the analysis is there, you can draw a trend line, although it's not a trade plan. You're not drawing a trade plan, you're just drawing a trend line. However you do it, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that I would draw mine. If you were to draw a trend line, you think you would draw it based on time, not on price. If it's price over time, it's a trend line. Trends happen over time, so I think you should draw it on the line chart, which is a representation of time, where the wick is not. It's just a price flash. You don't know when it happened. So it's not a moving averages are a close. So why don't you try? My argument there is, and this is where you go down the technical analysis highway, another rabbit hole. This is probably what's overwhelming to people, but it's unnecessary. You don't need it. You could make $1 million trading like a fucking idiot with a ticker tape and not even have a chart. Because all you're saying is that what is the current price? Should my order be above or below? If it goes above, it needs to be a sell limit above and a buy limit below. That's all I'm saying. So once you strip this all out, it's like music comes down to telling a story. It's not about the key you're in, the kind of guitar amp you got. If you're going to write lyrics and you're going to play a fucking song, if you play a minor key, it's probably minor slow. It's going to be sad. It's just that the track's been laid. Trains are not going to, they're never going to resize the train tracks on the planet. There's no fucking way. It's written in stone. Eminem's Candy will be around till you're dead. Probably into the 1,000 years. The train tracks and Eminem Candy. I'm just saying. So we're going up. Looks like we're gonna go try to take out, go for at least 125 here and just keep fucking roaring north. Yeah, the dollar's fucked, man. Fundamentally. But it doesn't mean that you didn't make a fucking ton of money if you sold on the 16th. If you sold 2 weeks ago on the euro, you fucking cleaned up, right? The dollar was strong then. So this is another bullshit thing. You can say all that stuff. And that's why I can't go in these chat rooms. People say stuff. I'm like, you know what? This is like, it's the need to be right. I think all that stuff is about showing, kind of like throwing comments out there, and to be right. Some guy said to me, "It looks like Kelvin had a point," and I went to the video and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Like. Well, because it didn't go to 102. The yen never went to 102. I said it's never going to 102. But I could have been wrong, so what does it matter? This is this kind of guy thing. Well, I made a good call. When people say I made a good call in the market, I just think, well, what if it didn't go that way? This is the wanting to connect with other people through agreeing on a bias. So I get it. Yeah, like I said, traders are typically friendly people, except for maybe me. I mean, people are, you know, it's like rooting for a soccer team or a baseball team. You're rooting for, a lot of these traders are like sports guys. They won't bet against their country's currency. I don't give a fuck. I'm usually buying something. So we're going up here, okay. Looks like we're going to drift up tonight or smack up. Now that does make a difference. How fast is the market moving? The other thing is, you could have the most mechanically stupid, retarded trade plan on the planet, like just saying, well, you know what? The market's trading sideways, really quiet. I'm going to get in with tight stops. Now this is when the market's telling you what kind of stop to use. And if you're going to be a swing trader and you're going to hold these trades for like days, you're going to need a 150 bips stop. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, Calvin was like, oh, your stop tells me everything I need to know. Yeah. But it doesn't tell you, without the size, it means nothing. What if I have 40 standard lots with a 10 pip stop? The other guy's got a 400 pip stop and a 1K. I mean, he's not risking as much, but people would say, oh, well, now he's got a long ways to go before he loses his 40 bucks, and you might lose your 40 bucks in 4 minutes. And what does that feel like? Okay, so what does that feel like, and what kind of trader are you? And really, everybody should trade within their, but people see other people making money going, oh, you know, he's doing this, he's doing that. Yeah, but you're not that guy. You can't, you know, you don't, if you want to drive, you know, the Indy 500 and NASCAR Formula 1, these guys are hauling ass. If you're not used to hauling ass, you may think you want to be a race car driver until you get in the car and you shit your pants. You're like, this is no fucking, there's not even a coffee cup holder in this thing. You know, you may not, the same thing with trading. It may look wonderful, but, and you might love it when you're winning, but if you're getting crushed and you just lost everything you made all week, then it's not fun, I suppose. But these are all decisions that we would make knowing the risk. I think the math is pretty obvious. But this is the unromantic part of it, is this math thing. You know, this is like stupid stuff. So let me go back to his comment here. So he says, please try making a simple video where you explain exactly what you're doing. Okay, well, I hope this is it. Forget other fuckers and making fun just to make clear, simple English video wherein you explain from 1 to 10. Okay, so this 1 to 10, I would say, okay, square one. How do you feel about losing $5? And you have to isolate these thoughts. They can't coexist with, well, it depends if I mean, is it a good trading? Do you have a good methodology? It doesn't matter with any. It's just pure. Just think of if you went to the casino. Are you going to go up to the $1 slot machine or the $100 slot machine? Okay, that's square one. Square two is if you choose to go to the wider stop. Now it's about what is your frequency of trading? How many trades a day or week or an hour or a minute are you going to do? So if you determine how much you risk per trade, how many trades you're going to do, this is like you're coming backwards into it. Most people, this is the last thing they think about. After they find the Holy Grail and all these goobers do it, you see these fucking, well, I did the pattern tested this the hammer. The engulfing hammer. Oh yeah, that's it. I back tested it. Okay, and now I suppose you're going to do the risk, you're going to do the down. Yeah, because I don't know. It's only been right 60% of the time. This is like stupid. Like, if I was going to design a race car, I'd be thinking, okay, how much money we got? Is it going to be a soapbox derby? Or is it going to, what's it going to be? So that's square one. And square two is, how do you feel about not knowing what's going to happen in the next moment? Whereas I can kind of tell you when I'm watching a fucking cliche movie, yeah, here we go. Okay, this is about the time this happens. Okay, they're cheering on the heroes. Everything's going good. We pulled out. Nobody died. Very predictable. Traffic, okay, red lights up ahead, people are probably slowing down. I think I can do this without crashing. Markets? I don't know. If you didn't know that the news was coming out, when I started trading, I didn't even know what FOMC is. I'd see stuff. Like, I would never look at the news. I mean, Bank of Japan came out with an announcement one night, and the market just went blistering. It just went shearing up and down, and I was like, what the fuck? Then I looked at the news. What the hell was that? I was either blowing up an account or making a ton of money. But the thing is it's a pretty mundane thing. Trading is pretty much, I can't think of anything more boring in a way as far as, it's strange to think it should be boring, and good trading is only boring because you're really just thinking in probabilities of it's either going to go up or down. It's the rate of change, I think, that's going to catch anybody. And so if you did, going back to what I just drifted off of, if you go into Asia session where it's quiet, how tight a stop can you run? Now here you could run a 10 pip stop to make 50 pips, because if we're going to go one way or the other here coming out of Asia, I guarantee you, now we're either going to fizzle here, and we're never going to fill the void above. You have a trade plan for that. And I'd say, do you have like more than one? And this is the art of it, I think, is to be able to, you don't see paintings with 5 brush strokes, do you? This is people are expecting to fucking make money in these markets with 5 tickets. Sure, if you got a day job and you can put on a fucking big ass, sure. Yeah, you could trade like that. I just don't want to. I don't want to be up and down $1,000 on a trade, 1 ticket. It's just, I want to take money out of these markets. I want to always be continually making something every day, or at least reducing my exposure to the position. Say I'm at 84K, all single tickets, they'll get filled, 48 of those, or let's say I'm in yeah, let's say I'm in 80K and 36 just got cashed out on scalps. They were 8, 9, 10, 12 pip winners. Boom, 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 boom. Now I can reload that gun. It might bounce again. And I can put those in again. But I just got way more flexibility than the guy that's stuck. And he may make a ton of money. I'm not saying he won't. But I'm not a big fan of all my eggs in one basket. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you have to be a guy up for that kind of punishment. And you can't kid yourself and say, "Oh yeah," because you don't want to get painted yourself into the corner where you can't make a move because you're underwater so hard you can't peel. Well, I guess you could take partial losses and profits. You could get in a fat position, but why not scale in? It doesn't make any sense to get in one fat position and then peel it off. I guess you peel off something, but it's optimal trade entry is a fucking joke. It's more like optimal scaling in is the trick, I think. So yeah, scale in, scale out. That's all. That's the holy grail right there. That's it. There's this other stuff. You can just. Another thing is, don't forget. Say you got a target that's 200 pips away because you can see. Oh yeah, there's a lot of. It's been there before for whatever reason. See, the funny thing is, it doesn't matter the reason. It could be Fibonacci extension. What's going to matter is, can you hold that position until that happens? Being up in a trade is harder than being down in a trade for me. Like, being up in a trade is like, well, why don't I just get out here? And a lot of times, I must say, half the time I should have got out, because I'm like, yeah, this is quite a bit of money. Just get the fuck out, go flat. Now, what's going to happen is fear of missing out. But if you bank that money, you're truly out. Because you're not out. These markets can move like out of nowhere for anything. It doesn't have to be a news event. If they shot some world leader, trust me, these markets would go ballistic. 24-hour markets, I mean, it's insane, right? Let's take a look at some other comments. So he's the same guy. Like others maybe are wrong and maybe better than others, but the way they explain step by step and do not involve the outside world when they're explaining things, I'm looking forward to this thing. Yeah, well, the outside world is in your trading. So this is the reason I'm always talking about the outside world, like hookers and stuff, is because it's inside of your trading. So your belief systems are, as Mark Douglas says in a video, your belief systems are what you're currently thinking right now. And when you're in the market, everything you think about why you've been doing this and all that's you are that person. You can't be a robot. We're just a robot to trade then, right? You can't be a robot. Just take my suggestion or garbage it. Your choice, but I think more than 50% of people would just skip to other videos for reasons because they're not making sense. Doesn't matter if they're informed or not. Yeah, that's why I'm not charging people to listen to my rants about how stupid trading is. But yeah, it's the beauty of not caring, I guess. But that Mark Douglas made a distinction. It's about being carefree, not careless. So it's careless to just throw shit out there willy-nilly, but if you have this, if you know how the market behaves and it's done it so many times, and you're like, yeah, we're probably going to rally. So the question is, just to close off here, if the market's going to go up, should I get on the train now and ride it, or should I sell it when it gets to where I think it's going? If I think it's going up, and I don't have to be sure that's going up. What if I just throw orders up there? What if I put buy orders 30 pips above for 30 minutes and 30 pips below for 30 minutes. And what time of day do I put those orders in? That's what it is for me. And that's the contest. And how many do I put in, and what are the stops, and what are that? But if you get away from this one, like you get to write a hit song, right? It's the same idea. And of course, this is an outside thing I'm going to bring in, because it all pertains to trading. If you can't see that trading is like anything else that you would do in life, do you have one giant pot you cook all your food in? No, you got like a little saucepan. Everything is sized. Why wouldn't trading be any different? So, okay. Well, I hope that helps. This is probably the worst video audio. I'm probably clipping it. I had to crank this up because I'm talking at a distance to the mic. So, but yeah, as I say, feel free to complain about my video. I don't know. I could go into a long rant, but I don't even know. Like I said, some people that have been trading for years, like me, they don't mind some tangential joking. But I understand this guy wants a kind of a serious answer. Everybody has this. Would you just tell me? But I would say you've got to find your threshold for pain. It's as simple as that. We have to know, like Clint Eastwood said in The Enforcer, a man's got to know his limitations. Right?